Today's third video for you is firstly, an Ethiopian journalist was arrested on a Sunday and his whereabouts are still unknown. Where is he? Who arrested him? Ethiopian Human Rights Commission led by Daniel Bakele issued a statement about the journalist a few hours ago. Secondly, we have a new story from Shewa zone of Oromia, where in previous videos we reported about some incidents in which Oromo civilians were killed. Now in one Woreda of this zone, Shewa zone, we have received some reports about the killing of Amhara locals who have written a letter as well to Ethiopian federal government. Perhaps the most destabilized zone is Shewa, where government forces are trying to push OLA out of the zone. At the same time, Oromo, Amhara ethnic tensions are extremely high in Shewa. Thirdly, Tigray President Debretsion Gebremichael has written an open letter to African Union Chairperson and Kenyan President. Tigray President Debretsion Gebremichael says that another Eritrean military offensive on Tigray is in the pipeline, that it is stated goal of Eritrea to crush Tigray government, Tigray people. Several allegations have been leveled against Eritrea. We'll have a detailed look at the contents of this letter. Does it mean that we are moving towards Eritrea-Tigray war? Is Tigray going to attack Eritrea, or is Eritrea going to attack Tigray? What does this letter indicate? Firstly, viewers, an Ethiopian journalist was arrested on Sunday. His name is Gobeze Sisay. He worked for ESAT for some time. Then I think last year he was fired from ESAT. He was known for criticizing PM Abiy, criticizing Ethiopian National Defense Force, Oromo Liberation Army, Oromia government. He was arrested from his house. His house was raided by plain-clothed persons. Were they police officials? Were they intelligence officials? No one knows. Today is World Press Freedom Day, viewers. In this regard, Ethiopian Human Rights Commission released a statement. The commission is led by Daniel Bakele. The commission mentions the incident that Gobeze Sisay was arrested on Sunday. But commission says that whereabouts of Gobeze Sisay are still unknown. Commission has tried to contact relevant authorities that where is Gobeze Sisay? Is he in custody? In which police station is he? No details have been shared with Human Rights Commission of Ethiopia by Ethiopian security forces. That is why Daniel Bakele's Human Rights Commission says that Gobeze Sisay is still missing. No one knows about his whereabouts. Who arrested him or who kidnapped him? It's not clear, but I think in coming hours we'll have some information about Gobeze Sisay. He was very critical of Ethiopian government, Ethiopian PM, Oromia government. So security forces could be behind his detention. So far his whereabouts are unknown. Second news story is from Shewa zone of Oromia, situated to the west of Addis Ababa. OLA made significant territorial gains in Shewa before the start of a new military operation against OLA around 3 weeks ago. Now we are seeing different types of engagements in Shewa. On the one hand, we are seeing that OLA is fighting government forces here. On the other, we are seeing drone strikes, airstrikes. Civilians are the victims of these airstrikes. And thirdly, we are hearing reports about killing of Amhara people as well in Shewa. In two previous videos, I reported about firstly Abuna Gintabarat, where there was a drone strike and more than a dozen innocent civilians were killed, Oromos. Then we reported about Ada Baraga, where Oromia government forces in a revenge attack carried out some attacks against civilians in Ada Baraga, and around 40 were killed. And it has been confirmed by Oromo Federalist Congress, Oromo Liberation Front, and some news sources as well that 40 were killed in Ada Baraga, Oromos. Now, Amhara people living in a Woreda have written a letter to Ethiopian federal government. They say several of their ethnic group members have been killed in attacks by Oromo forces and Shene, OLA. Name of the Woreda is Dano Woreda. It is in Shewa. And here, according to local ethnic Amharas, they are under attack. Several community members have been killed and some were taken to hospital in Gorage, and some are trying to take refuge in nearby forests. Dano Woreda locals are demanding that federal government should intervene to protect them. Shewa, there is chaos in Shewa, viewers. You see that Amharas under attack, Oromos under attack as well in the form of airstrikes and action from government forces, fighting between OLA and government forces, OLA and Fano. You see, there is chaos in this zone of Oromia, and government forces are so far unable to control the situation. Lastly, we have a very important news story, a breaking news. Tigray President Debretsion Gebremichael has written an open letter. The letter is addressed to firstly Chairperson of African Union, who is President of Senegal, Macky Sall, who is seen as a friend of PM Abiy, by the way. He participated in PM Abiy's government's inauguration ceremony as well. And second person is Uhuru Kenyatta, Kenyan President. So letter is addressed to these two presidents. And copies have been sent to firstly Joseph Borrell of EU, Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, David Satterfield, US Envoy to the Horn of Africa. What is this letter about? The letter is mainly about Eritrea. Focus of this letter is Eritrea. Tigray president says that Eritrea was put under sanctions in 2009 for its destabilization activities in the region. In 2018, Eritrea struck a security pact with Ethiopia, and then some of these sanctions they were lifted. Then in November 2020, Eritrean forces took part in military offensive on Tigray, and the forces committed atrocities against civilians in Tigray, the letter claims. Not only in Tigray, but also in Sudan and Somalia, Eritrea is involved. Eritrea is training troops loyal to Abdullahi Farmajo, president of Somalia. And this this action could endanger upcoming presidential election in Somalia. And secondly, about Sudan, Tigray president claims that Eritrea has penetrated Sudanese government. It has secret links with some elements in Sudanese government. Further, Tigray president says that Eritrean forces are in Ethiopia, apart from Eritrean forces, Eritrean intelligence officials, security officials, they are freely operating in Ethiopia. They have infiltrated Ethiopian government. Now, Tigray president wants action from Yoro Kenyatta and Macky Sall, African Union chair. It says that there must be verified withdrawal of Eritrean forces from Ethiopia. There should be inclusive dialogue with international oversight to resolve the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia. And alarming thing is that Debretsion Gebremichael says that another Eritrean military offensive on Tigray could be in the pipeline because it is stated goal of Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president, that Tigray must be crushed. Now it's an alarming claim. Is it based on some intelligence, or it's just a conclusion based on circumstantial evidence? We don't know this. But it's written in the statement that another Eritrean military operation against Tigray could be in the pipeline. The letter claims that Eritrea is intervening, it's creating conflicts in neighboring countries because it wants to divert attention from its own problems. So in order to divert attention of its people from its performance, Eritrean government is militarily involved to create disturbances in neighboring countries. This is the reason given by Tigray president about alleged Eritrean interventions in other countries. Lastly, Tigray president says that only solution to the Ethiopian conflict is that right to self-determination must be respected. There must be political engagement, talks, and then right to self-determination should be upheld and exercised. Tigray is not speaking about secession in this statement, but it is urging the two leaders to play their role in the resolution of ongoing conflict. It says that aid delivery is still limited, and on daily basis, Ethiopian government is coming up with new demands that Tigray should do this, Tigray should do that. And still Tigray is under siege, banking service, electricity, all basic services are cut off. And lastly, Tigray wants cross-border commercial activities as well. It's written in the letter that Tigray should be allowed to start cross-border commercial activities. Now, does Tigray want to start cross-border activities with other countries? Obviously, I think Tigray is talking about cross-border commercial activity with other countries. Tigray shares border with just two countries, Eritrea and Sudan. And you see that Tigray-Eritrea relations, there is no likelihood of any commercial activities between two countries. It means Tigray wants western part of Tigray, Humera Volkaya. It wants commercial activities through the corridor which is under the control of Amhara forces. No mention of Western Tigray, no mention of Amhara forces. That's what I understood from what's written in the letter. Now, what does it mean, this letter, writing of the letter by Debretsion to African leaders? Does it mean that Tigray is running out of patience, that we could see resumption of armed hostilities, or that Tigray is planning a military offensive on Eritrea? Before that, Tigray is just trying to send a message that now you can take action, otherwise we'll be forced to resolve the issue militarily. Or Eritrea is planning an attack on Tigray and Tigray is warning in advance. Well, I think things are moving very slowly. Yes, aid is arriving in Tigray. Delivery of aid, its speed has increased. But core issue is still unresolved. Overall, Tigray is under siege. If there is no solution to this siege, especially about the area, western part, there is no likelihood of lasting peace. Any time there could be resumption of armed hostilities. That is what Tigray president is saying.